Exactly 1 year ago, I finished Better Call Saul. It was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen, along with one of the best performances by Bob Odenkirk. So when I found out that the show and Bob Odenkirk hadn't won a single Emmy, I was pissed. I mean, Bob Odenkirk was perfect as Jimmy and Saul, and he's just one of the most hardworking and talented actors there is. I wondered what could possibly beat that.
Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and Staten, from the Battery to the top of Manhattan. Asian, Middle Eastern, and Black and Black, white, New York, you make it happen. Brownstones, water towers, trees, skyscrapers, prize fighters, and Wall Street traders.
1 month ago, I finished Succession, an insane show with some of the best dialogue and the most unique screenplay I've ever seen. The way it's shot is special. There'd be a conversation being shown, and the camera will randomly pan to something else going on in the same scene, with the scene really playing out like real life. There were scenes in the show where the actors didn't know where the cameras were and were just told to do the scene. What the fuck does that mean? In season 4 episode 3, Connor's Wedding, they shot a scene where the cameras rolled for 28 minutes straight. And this is one of the examples of the director just cooking. But this style of filming really demands the best from all actors involved. They really have to dive in and be their characters. And Jeremy Strong took that shit too literally.
If it's difficult for the character, it should cost me something too.
Jeremy says that he likes to meet the emotional state of his characters by living through his characters' experiences. He doesn't call this method acting. He calls it identity diffusion. He essentially convinces himself and has to believe that he is Kendall Roy, and everything that happens to Kendall should be felt by him, psychologically and emotionally.
You know, I can't feel like I'm making a television show or I'm making a movie. I need to feel like these things are happening.
He stayed in character between takes and used to isolate himself from the rest of the cast to truly have this sense of loneliness felt by Kendall. This obsession with his craft also worried his co-actors.
I mean, he works his ass off, and I think he works to a point where I think he's in danger of, you can't keep that up. I don't care about what the world thinks of it. I worry about what Jeremy is putting himself through on a daily basis when we work. There's a schizophrenic element there, which I think you have to be really very careful of dealing what we deal with as actors.
Jeremy, who plays Kendall, is a lot like Kendall. He takes his wardrobe into life now. So I have, it all kind of feels like it's the same.
When he says it all kind of feels the same, he's talking about Jeremy Strong and Kendall Roy, which is insane. And what's even more insane is this list of insane shit Jeremy Strong did while playing Kendall Roy. While filming for season 1, Jeremy Strong insisted on doing numerous takes running in Italian shoes to ensure his breathlessness was 100% authentic, resulting in a fractured foot. While filming the season 3 party scene, Jeremy Strong jumped off a high stage, which was not in the script, resulting in a leg injury. He said it made sense in the moment for the character's erratic state. In the final episode of season 1, when Kendall crashes into the water, Jeremy Strong asked for the scene to be shot for 10 minutes straight, as he's trying to navigate his way out of the water to truly feel the desperation and panic. They shot the scene at 4 AM and the water was freezing.
Part of the sequence where the character is making his way back to his room unseen by anybody, Jeremy wanted it to be real and he wanted it to be cold enough for it to work. He literally asked for us to have ice buckets of water up on a hill, and before a take we would pour buckets of ice cold water over his head. A level of commitment that I'm absolutely astonished by. It was quite extraordinary.
After getting to know all this, was the answer to my question just obsession? I don't think so.
The final scene where Kendall walks toward the water and his security guy, who was his father's security guy, is following him.
In one of the takes, I climbed over the barrier, and the actor playing Colin saw me and ran and stopped me from doing it.
I was terrified. I was terrified that he might fall in and be injured.
Now, Jeremy never mentions or never seems to compute the idea that that would be killing Jeremy too. It's actually quite disturbing. It's very unsettling.
If it's difficult for the character, it should cost me something too.